Hello and welcome to what I call a new video. Today we are going to be talking about how I learned English. So we gotta go back into 5th grade, or more specifically into 2nd grade. For you see, in 2nd grade we had this thing called an adequate school system, meaning that in 2nd grade we started learning English. But on the most basic level, of course, because we were 2nd graders. I was taught the hellos, the highs, the howdy. I certainly wasn't taught any of the more expanded and invasive parts of the English language. That's the part where you learn that, kindergarten is the same word as it is in German for some reason. Like in German it makes sense because kinder is literally translates to child. Child, garten is garden. So a child's garden, kindergarten. It makes sense in German, but in English it don't make any goddamn sense. But you stole it anyway. But, however, the things we learn in school wouldn't actually give me the grip of the language that I currently have. I have a stranglehold on the English language at this current juncture in time. So, how did I do a little bit of that? Well, I was enjoying German YouTube content throughout my adolescence. However, starting in 5th grade, I wanted more. But Keinmark, what is more? Well, you see, I wanted to play a video game, or more specifically, I didn't have a PC. I wanted to play their video game and couldn't play their video game. So I went onto YouTube Germany and I typed in Hearts of Iron 4 and nothing came up. Well, some things came up, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna keep it $1.50 with you. Absolutely no one in YouTube Germany that played Hearts of Iron 4 knew what an editing software was, which I find rude. Like, genuinely. One of the only reasons I learned English is because literally no one knew what a fucking editing software was. See, I was a big history buff and I wanted to see the funny World War II history map game. And naturally, I looked at Steinwallen, and he didn't have that good of content, I'm gonna be honest. And so, I decided, man, guess I'll have to get out of my way. Guess I gotta use all that knowledge that I had inscribed in my brain. And then we gotta watch Kilian Experience. Wait, actually, I'm lying. I'm a liar. That was in 6th grade. So then naturally in 6th grade, I watched a Kilian Experience video. The video where he was playing New Zealand and doing the diddly-do. However, I watched it with subtitles on. But how, you say, did Kilian Experience go out of his way to translate his content into another language, that being German? No, he did not. See, at the time, YouTube had a feature where the community could write up some nice old subtitles for other languages. This feature was removed because YouTube's awesome, but also because it was used for a child sex trafficking ring. Instead of fixing that issue, they decided to nuke the entire feature, which is just awesome. It's so cool. It's so cool. Thanks, YouTube. I love you. You know what, YouTube? Let's come over here real quick. I just gotta tell you some sweet sim music. Yay! And so, the person that was writing down the subtitles, he thought he was a funny little fella. See, every time Kilian Experience said World War II, or Hitler, or literally anything else that could be controversial in any way, this jokester, the subtitle writing jokester, he was like, I'm gonna change the entire plot of the video to be about something completely different. See, I would check what it was about. Unfortunately, remove feature. Bit fucking rude. So I can't check exactly what this troll was doing to the video. However, I knew he was trolling. Why? Because I had learned English in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. Meaning that I had the natural understanding required to understand that this man was bullshit. And so, I leaned back, I realized, that's not correct. That's a lie. That's not what I yearn for. I yearn for the truth. And so what could I do? Well, I decided I would open up my ears a little bit. I would open up the cranium. I'd open up the nice old noggin and start listening. And suddenly I started understanding. And as I was understanding, that's right, I thought, wait, this Kilian Experience man, he's a rather funny chap, ain't he? So I kept watching. I watched new videos. videos. I was not watching just Toy 4, I was watching the most depressing video of all time. Literally, that's the title of the video. The saddest story ever told. I watched Kilian Experience Kilian with 2 L's. And see, I like that video a lot. Why did I like that video a lot in particular? Well, you see, I myself was a bit of a prison architect myself. Prison Architect. Die Gefängnismanagement-Simulation. GameStar hat's eine 78 gegeben. GameStar, meine Jungs! 87. Ich bin ein dreckiger Hure. Anyway, I started watching, I started consuming, I started experiencing. I started living the Kilian experience, but then suddenly something happened, something unexplainable, something ununderstandable. That I ran out of videos. But now I was like, well, I like these games. I like Prison Architect. What about RimWorld? You know, they sounded like a fun game. You know, when he had a heart attack in his left toe? Maybe. So I decided, well, why don't I pick that up? You know, why don't I buy that shit? So I bought that shit. And you know, I went on a little goddamn walk. I had a little goddamn Tonga fucking line on the goddamn way to the Lidl, to the local Lidl, where I then bought a $20 gift card for Steam, realized it wasn't enough, and then I bought $40 instead. It was peak. And then as I was experiencing the game, I decided, wait, what if I just put it on English? What if I just put it on English? You know, I'm enjoying the English experience over on YouTube. You know, Tube Clash is over. Ain't nothing good over there anymore except Julian Bam. So I might as well start branching out. And as I started branching all over the place, Minecraft Freedom came to a close. Everything was over. Pa Luton was playing Sims 4. It was still peak, but come on now. I started watching different people. I started watching I Sorrow Productions. I started watching a lot of English people, and I started picking stuff up. I still have some vocal stims from that time, but also still a vocal stim from a German dude at the time. Roundhouse Kicker, die Fotzen. Photoshop, so wie Photoshop. Photoshop war ein Joke, war noch nicht mal hellwach. ApoRed ist so ein Pisser. He's my favorite pisser though. Rainer, abonnieren. Subscribe, like the video, hype the video. You can do that. We can go down there right now. You know, you go down there the video. You can hype the video. Don't know what that does, but you can hype it. Where was I? Oh yeah, English. And so I started watching. I started experiencing more. It's all about the YouTube. And then suddenly I started experiencing everything. TF2 started becoming a pretty good game in my eyes. And then I started watching another YouTuber. And that YouTuber, he was quite the funny YouTuber. Octo. The Octo gaming YouTuber of the Team Fortress of the second variety. I watched them, I liked them. And then, during the subathon, during a Ludwig subathon, in a random place where I just happened to watch. I don't usually watch live streams. I don't know why I was watching that particular second. Someone played Octo's video on the subathon. So what did I have to do? Clearly, all I had to do was tell the world I knew of this information. Why? I don't know, I just did. I made a Discord account and joined the Octo Gaming Discord server. At which point I had more friends speaking English than I had German. Damn. From that time, there are precisely 2 people still remaining. The others, one dude said that I've said the F slur that's against homophobic people, which I didn't do, but he said I did it, so that's unlucky. Everyone believed him. Well, they didn't exactly believe him, but like he was funnier. He was funnier than me, so he got to be in the group, and I didn't. Fun fact about that, those are also the people that told me to put a clown at the end of my video. So that's awesome. Nah, you only miss once. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, so anyway, after that happened, I was on the Octo Gaming Discord server for a while. I was experiencing more interactions in English. You know, I was picking up how to speak, and it was pretty awesome. And then I left because, again, I literally just explained. And then I pretty much knew English, except for one thing. I still had an accent, which technically I still do have an accent, but it's a little less pronounced than it was before, and a lot of people are just generally confused on what the fuck my accent is. And so, naturally, how would I overcome this? Well, at the start of our story, we talked about a map game. So at the end of our story, we must continue talking about our map game, because you see, it is I who's Lave's editor, and the way I achieved it was joining the Lave Discord server. I was watching the greatest series of all time, the Burgundian series, where he played Florence and got mocked by the AI. Back then, he was not Lave, he was the social streamer, and I was hooked. It was peak. And so naturally, when Leif decided he was looking for editors, I came running in, applying for the position voluntarily. In actuality, I wasn't, and even at the time, I was making a joke about it, because you see, I had just, started school, and for the school, we needed an internship, and I was like, I'm at a design school, and I'm technically designing videos if I edit, so in a way, this is an internship, and they agreed, because I ghosted them. No, genuinely. Notified the school of this, that hey, since this is a design course, I am technically designing video. That means I can take this as my internship, right? And then they said, we're not so sure about this company you've shown us. This doesn't seem very professional and all. This seems like you're trying to scam us. So naturally, I didn't answer. I left them on red, like a boss. If it works, what can you do? Das nennen wir Business. Das ist mein Junge, das ist mein Mignon, das ist mein Oberleutnant. Let's go. Lose geht's. We love to see it. Yeet. And since then, I have graduated from that design school after 2 years of learning. I'm still Lave's editor to put food on my table and pay my rent. And now I'm no longer in a cult. Did I, up until this point, neglect to mention I was in a cult? Yes. Next video, I guess. But first, my feet goes absolutely goddamn hot. Cue the clown.